Oh, sir, a man don't know what's smarts until he's been fell on and rolled over by an 1,800-pound gelding.
Nobody throwed you and tied you to make you a cowboy. If you hate it so much, why don't you do something else?
Well, I have give some thought to taking up preaching. Seems like anybody can do that. Don't really have to know nothing.
Of course, you know, you could always ride on down to Butte or Cheyenne and learn to be a pin and button thrower in the mercantile.
Nah, a woman ain't gonna buy no pins and buttons from me. 'Cause I got calluses on my hands and scars of time on my face. Besides, I walk with a limp from where I was kicked in the ankle by
a 17-year-old.
17-year-old Nevada mare named Gloria Joe McKinney. Yeah. I ain't but 40 years old, and I'm already a walking ruin.
Well, cowboying's all I ever knowed. It's all I know how to do. Come on, we gotta move along. Get to that dance.
Where'll be that dance you're talking about?
That Christmas dance, the schoolhouse, down the mountain.
You
gotta get cleaned up.
You mean to tell me that you are gonna ride 20 miles in the cold and then 20 miles back again just to go to a dance?
You see all the pretty girls there they had last year? One of them kissed me.
Oh. Ha! That is the poorest deal I ever heard tell of. 40 miles in a cold ride just for a kiss. I ain't never been that young.
Kissing's got nothing to do with being young. It's got to do with desire and intent. 40 miles ain't nothing. I rode 65 miles from the Bar D last Christmas.
You got to admit, Stubby, that a 40-mile ride on a bone-chilling night is a mighty hard way to go just to look for a girl.
Not if you ain't ever had one to call your own.
Old Hollander.
Ah!
What the devil are you doing?
Looking on top of that cabinet, that's what.
Is there something of interest up there?
There ain't nothing up there but dust and rat leavings.
What'd you think it'd be up there?
Pringle's candy, that's what. And it beats me where he's hid it. I've searched every nook and cranny in the bar and the tack room, so it's got to be in here.
You mean to tell me you'd steal that boy's Christmas candy?
I never said nothing about stealing. He's got a whole box of Christmas chocolates. All I want is to borrow one little piece.
Well, it looks like you're not going to get it. When him and Red is done feeding them cattle, he's on his way.
Hey, Pringle. Boss's wife said to come by the big house. Something come for you this morning on the supply wagon.
Thanks, Skipper. I know what that is.
You best remember that a working hand don't go to the Big Sugar's front door. You go to the back door with a mouthful of yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. in, Mr. Pringle.
Thank you, ma'am.
Come in out of the cold. The dress goods I ordered for you arrived this morning on the supply wagon. I'll get them for you just as soon as I finish stuffing this turkey. Won't you have a seat?
It's all the same, ma'am. I just soon stand.
Nonsense. You're cold. You'll sit down in my kitchen and have a cup of coffee. There you are, Mr. Pringle.
Thank you, ma'am.
Fresh, round, and hot. Please sit, Mr. Pringle.
Ma'am, I don't mean no disrespect, but you don't have to call me Mr. Pringle.
Why not, may I ask? It's your name, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am, it's my name. But leastways I think it's my name, but it sounds like some trail that I never rode down. Ain't got no map to it either. You sure do have a nice home, Mrs. Harper. Kinda puts me in mind of warm arms.
Put you in mind of what, Mr. Pringle?
Oh, just a nice home, ma'am.
Mr. Pringle, that's the nicest compliment I've ever had.
I meant it like that, ma'am.
And I accept it. And thank you for it. Now, you sit down. I'll get your things.
Hello there, Stubby. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, sir.
You're on your way to the dance at the schoolhouse, I understand.
Yes, sir, as soon as I can get there.
Well, sit.
Mr. Pringle, this is our daughter, Martha. She just came home yesterday from boarding school in Colorado. Martha, meet Mr. Pringle.
Oh, pleased to meet you, Miss Harper.
Hello. Oh, pretty?
Yes, ma'am, real pretty.
Oh, now tell us, what's her name?
Oh, I don't know yet, Miss Harper. I aim to find out tonight at the dance. Oh, I met her last year at the dance. I just forgot to ask her her name. I remembered to ask her tonight. Well, you all have a Merry Christmas. A happy one. When I ordered that box of chocolates last October, I asked you if you wanted a box too, and you said no. You remember?
Stubby, I couldn't afford it. When a man's thinking about his retirement, he can't afford to pay 60 cents for a box of brown sweets. But you're young. You can afford to buy a box of chocolates and give an unfirm, stove-up old man one piece for Christmas.
Red, what do you think of my brand new monkey ward shirt from one of them high-tone factories in New York City? Look at them buttons. Solid staghorn.
Boy, you are mean enough to steal a fly from a blind spider. Never mind about that shirt.
What do you think, Red?
I'm an old man. Old men deserve at least one piece of chocolate a year.
Kind of eye-catching, don't you think?
Kind of girl catching, you mean, don't you?
Well, same thing, don't you think, Red?
Yeah, but it's a plumb pity you got to wear such a pretty shirt with them scuffed-up old boots. Here. And them pants, they look like there was something thrown away by a Custer scout.
I know you got the chocolates hid somewhere around here. Admit it, boy.
Why, sure, I admit it, old hunk.
Well, it's a plumb mystery where they be at. Be they in the bunkhouse?
They sure are.
Where at? Looking for them chocolates is like looking for a whisper in a big wind. Boy, don't turn your back on me when I'm talking about something as important as one pitiful piece of chocolate for the aged. What are you doing there? Get out, that's my trunk.
The reason that you never found them box of chocolates is because you never looked close enough to home.
Do you mean them little gum-tingling, belly-warming sweets has been in my possession all along? Boy, you got no heart at all, perpetrating an outrage like that on me.
I just figured that since you got nothing in that trunk but a bunch of old clothes that wouldn't make a decent dog bed, that you'd have no call looking there.
All I want is one piece. Just one little piece for Christmas.
No. I ain't gonna break up a set. A pretty girl's gonna get that box of candy. I don't want her looking in here finding one piece missing. She might think I care more about candy than I do her. Merry Christmas.
Mean. Just mean and stingy is what that boy is. Selfish young thing. He don't know what giving is all about.
Maybe I should have went with him. If I remember right, a lady smells awful good.
I know, Franklin, we got a ways to go, but I'm promising you now a double ration of oats when we get back. You're good to me.
Hey, Stubby, hug a fat girl for me, will you?
Sam, what are you doing? You trying to cripple yourself? That ain't no way to chop wood. Where's your man? I ain't here to harm you none, if that's what you're thinking.
He's inside. He's sick.
Bad?
The doctor come up the mountain yesterday. He says he thinks he'll do all right, but he's almighty weak. He's all wobbly. Sleeps most of the time.
Sleeps? I mean, he's sleeping while you're out here chopping wood.
Don't fault him none. He's been mighty tired. Even before he took sick, he was all wore out. He tried to get up only a while ago. He couldn't even get his pants on. He just fell flat on the floor.
Man, why don't you go inside, get yourself warm? I'm gonna chop you some wood.
I can't pay you.
I didn't say nothing about pay. Now go on inside, let me get this done. Me and Franklin gotta be on our way.
Franklin?
It's my horse, ma'am. Franklin T. Sullivan. Me and him been partners for about 5 years now. There you are. That should last you for a while.
God willing, my man should be up soon and able to do for himself.
Uh-oh. Looks like I woke somebody up.
Oh, honey, now please go back to bed. You're going to catch cold in your bare feet.
But your mom's telling you is the truth. You don't want to get sick, do you?
Honey?
I'll put her back. Come on.
Are you Santa Claus?
No, honey. I'm just something the wind blowed in.
Santa Claus coming?
Oh. Well, a little bit. I guess if he's in your heart, then he must be sneaking around here somewhere close. But you better go on to sleep now. Come on. You're not supposed to be looking for him. He's supposed to be the one looking for you. Thank you, man.
Oh, it's me that's thanking you.
How's your husband?
He's doing better. He's asleep now. There ain't many cowboys that bother with homesteaders. Nesters, I think they call us, and worse.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of understanding to go along with how cowboys feel about farmers. Guess they just figured that they was here first.
Well, they wasn't. The Indians was here first, and the cowboys stole it from them, just like the bank stole our farm back in Missouri. They put us off the land we'd worked for years, put armed guards on it and threatened us.
I didn't mean to rile you, nothing, man.
I got some cold biscuits and some honey. Let me fix you a plate.
No, thank you, ma'am. I ain't got time to sit down and eat. Like I said, me and Franklin got to be getting on down the mountain. You gonna be all right?
Oh, hope so. We've been here for almost a year, working 160 acres. It'd be hard put to feed a family of jackrabbits. Oh, but we'll make out. As soon as the mister gets on his feet again. You sure you won't have some cold biscuits and honey?
No, thank you, ma'am. I got to be getting on my way. Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
Where is it?
Where's what?
Your tree. Your Christmas tree.
I ain't had time to cut one.
Your kid's got to have a Christmas tree, ma'am. It's important.
When you were little, did you always have a tree for Christmas?
I never did. That's how come I know it's important.
Stubby's there yet, Red?
If I know him, he is. He's likely sweet-talking some 90-pound thing into a corner right now. I wonder, is her mama there?
Whose mama?
That 90-pound thing. I reckon she has a real nice mama. Somebody about my age.
You thinking about marrying the 90-pound thing's mama?
I'm ruminating on how it might be.
What if Pringle married the 90-pound thing and you did marry the mama? That'd make you Pringle's daddy-in-law. You wouldn't want nothing like that.
How come I wouldn't?
Because the boy is selfish. You wouldn't want nobody for a son-in-law that wouldn't give an old man a piece of chocolate for Christmas.
Just wondering what I'm missing down there at that Christmas dance.
There. Now that is about the most perfect shaped Christmas tree I've ever seen.
It is pretty, ain't it?
Now you get to do the decorating part. I got to get going. Merry Christmas. Something wrong?
I intended fixing some things to put on a tree, but I ain't had time. Now, you go on. The tree's the thing. It ain't the decorations.
Oh, it's a whole thing, man. No, it ain't just a horse. It's the horse and the saddle and the bridle and the reins and the stirrup and the cinch. I don't imagine you got a clock in the house anywhere, do you? Kind of like to know what the hour is.
It's his. I keep it running, but time don't seem to have no meaning out here.
9:15. That's not late. I'll tell you what. I'll help you make some decorations.
Oh, you seem awful anxious to get somewhere.
Well, I am. I'm going to get there, too. I'm going to the Christmas dance at the schoolhouse down the valley.
Well, you best go on, then.
Now, I got time to spare. Just getting started. Probably be going to the early hours. By the way, I'm Stubby Pringle. I pull down $1 a day at the XXX Ranch. $1 a day in found. Of course, found ain't much to brag about. Come to think of it, the dollar ain't either. If you don't mind me asking, what's your name?
Henderson. Georgia Henderson. My man's name is Ben. He was young and strong like you when we started out, with great expectations and lots of hope. Well, some folks' living takes a lot of lasting, and It's the lasting that makes you old.
Ma'am, you're not old. No, you couldn't be more than what? 30? Well, surely, ma'am, you're not more than 30.
You're very kind, Stubby Pringle.
No, ma'am, I'm just trying to be honest every once in a while for the Bible's sake. I'll tell you what. Now, you make me up some paste out of flour and water. Get me scissors, some paper, and we're going to get this job done in no time.
Well, that's all we'll need, just paper and paste and scissors.
Mrs. Henderson, dear lady, you are talking to the world's champion bulldogger, bronc buster, post hole digger, fence rider, and jerky chewer, and Christmas tree decorator.
We might have some paper, but not much.
Well, like the saying goes, ma'am, all my life I've been living between a rock and a hard place. And the only thing I understand is not much. Of course, like most people, I'm hoping someday to have too much.
Well, I've always heard that having too much of anything can make you sick.
Oh, ma'am, I think there's some things in life that you can't never get too much of.
I'll scare up some paper and scissors.
Foreman arch, the all duck under, sashay up. All eight swing, swing that girl. Head all eight to the center and back. All eight for the right hand swing. All eight for the left hand swing. All eight for the two hand swing. Head couple, sashay down and sashay back. Head couple, reel the set. All the way down and all the way back. Sashay back on the same old track. Head couple, broadcast off. The others follow, make an arch, they all duck under.
Do you have family somewhere, Stubby Pringle?
Beg your pardon, ma'am?
Family. Do you have family?
Yes, I got family. I reckon you could say I got about the biggest family there is anywhere.
Oh, how big is that?
Well, I've never counted them, but I must have hundreds. First off, I got Red, old Hollander, Skipper.
Your brothers?
I guess so. They're the ones I live with in the bunkhouse, the Triple X. But then I got a whole bunch of others in bunkhouses all over Wyoming, Montana. I mean, I don't think you could go anywhere in this country without bumping into some of my family men. They're in the high country, in the low country, in the prairies, and the plains, and the gullies, and the washes, and some of them's in the ground.
You mean dead?
Yes, ma'am. Dead. Dead from pneumonia. Cold, you know. The heat, too. Dead from bulls, stallions, snakes. Dead from guns, some of them.
You sound like you do a lot of thinking about death.
No, ma'am. No, I think mostly about life. Because I love it. I mean, man, there ain't nothing better than waking up in the morning knowing that you got a chance at another day. It's just that sometimes I don't know, I feel a terrible loss when a good person buys a farm.
Buys a farm?
Dies. Yeah, because, you know, when a good person dies, ma'am, I mean, that person has been a very big part of the days that I wake up looking forward to. Now, ma'am, what do you think? Up?
Oh, a little lower. Down more. That's good.
What do you think?
Here.
Oh.
I think we never had a prettier tree back in Missouri. Not even with them store-bought decorations and tinsel snow.
Now, you go get your Santa Claus things and you put them under the tree. You don't mean to tell me, Mrs. Henderson.
Oh, why don't you go on to your dance, Stubby Pringle? You just go on to your dance and your music and your pretty girls and stop reminding me of things I should have done and ain't, 'cause I couldn't. I thank you. I thank you mighty much for what you done. You just go on.
Mrs. Henderson.
You think I'm a bad mother, don't you?
No, I don't think that. You got your little ones all nestled down and warm in the other room there. That shows caring. Hey, and love. Mrs. Henderson.
I wanted more than anything for them to get something from Santa Claus.
I know you did. Listen, love is something that you can't get with money. You're poor. I'm poor. I ain't gonna let poor beat me.
Well, the young ones, they understand. They ain't expecting nothing.
But that's all the more reason they should get something, don't you think?
Oh, but there ain't nothing.
But there weren't a tree there, neither. A little while ago, there weren't no decorations. See, the way I see it, I mean, there ain't gonna be nothing there unless you put it there. So now you get your needle and you get your thread, and I'm gonna be right back.
I know you're disgusted, Franklin, having to stand around in all this snow and cold. But you just keep your mind steady on all them good oats that you get to eat when you get home. It's a horse's life to have to wait around a lot, you know? Ain't no fault of mine. Good Lord made you a horse. But you bear in mind, he made a lot of asses, too.
Somebody else live around here?
No. Why?
How come I just heard sleigh bell?
What?
Sleigh bell. I just heard sleigh bell.
You couldn't have. This is the only cabin there is between the XXX Ranch and the valley.
Ma'am, I used to work for a rich family down beside the Bighorn Mountains in Wyoming, and every Christmas, that whole family would ride around in a sleigh with them bells tingling, so I know what sleigh bells sound like. And besides, that's not the kind of sound that you think you hear when you don't. Oh, man. I think that you can make your little girl a pretty dress for Christmas in no time with that.
Oh. You giving me these dress goods?
Well, I got no use for it.
Oh, but what's a cowboy doing with dress goods in the first place?
You want to know the truth about that? I won that there bowl of dress goods in a poker game. That's all the poor fella had left. He was taking it home to his wife.
Oh.
Well, I didn't mean to take it off of him. Poker is poker.
Thank you. Oh, it'll make a pretty dress.
I was just happy to find something that could be used for her. I was sure tired of hauling it around.
What are you carving?
A horse for your little boy. This is gonna be a cat-hipped, ewe-necked, flop-eared strawberry roan, fit enough to carry him to the everlasting and back.
You're a good man, Stubby Pringle.
Oh, ma'am. I'm just your average cowboy. A day late and $1 short, my saddlebag's full of yesterday's. Now, if you want your little girl to find that dress under the tree, you better get serious about your sewing. Because, ma'am, you can't call back no failed Christmas.
Hey. Hey, old Hollander. Ain't you two going to bed? It's almost midnight.
I can't sleep.
You was just sleeping.
I ain't going to bed or to sleep until Pringle gets back.
Me neither.
What's Stubby got to do with anything?
I want to hear about that party. I want to hear about his girl.
She's probably on a diet if she's like most females I know, and she won't even eat them chocolates. More than likely, she feed them to her dog. I can see it now. Dog eating all them chocolates, and all I wanted was one little bitty piece.
Well, Pringle will tell you about it tomorrow.
And there ain't a dog nowhere that appreciates sweets.
Well, Pringle will tell you about it tomorrow.
He just eats them to fill his miserable gut.
Well, can't Pringle tell you all about it tomorrow?
I want to hear about it while it's fresh.
That's right. I don't want no warmed-up story. I want it fresh out of the oven.
Was it your move, old Hollander, or was it mine?
I think it was.
On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 golden rings.
I was in the boss's house for the first time today, man. You should have seen it.
Sumptuous, I reckon.
I don't know what sumptuous means, but that place was grass bellied with spot cash.
What?
Rich, man. Rich. No, but more than that, it was kind of a warm place. A home. But that ain't really saying it either, because what you got here is a home, too. What I'm trying to say is when I walked around in that house and I felt the good feeling that was there, all I could think of was I want that someday.
Well, it takes money, Stubby Pringle. It takes a lot of money.
No, I'm talking about the feeling, Mrs. Henderson, not the improvements.
Well, what do you think it'd take to get that feeling you're talking about?
The right girl.
Round that couple and steal a little kiss. Back to the center and swing your miss. You circle up 4 one time you go. Break it all up with a do paso. Chicken in the bread pan picking out dough. One more time and on you go. Round that couple and take a little peek. Back to the middle and swing your sweet. Round that couple, gonna peek once more. Back to the center and circle up 4, circle up 4. Break it all up with a do paso. One more time and home you go. Always swing.
Now, that ain't a bad-looking animal, if I do say so. I judge he stands about 16 hands, weighs in about 1,200 pounds. Ooh. Now that is a nice dress. That is a real nice dress for a little girl. She's gonna be proud to wear that.
Franklin, all right. I can hear you.
Merry Christmas. Who's that?
Oh, come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Christ the Lord. Sing, choirs of angels, sing in exaltation. Oh, sing, all ye citizens of heaven above. Glory to God in the highest. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let none of you dismay. La-dum dee 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 dee. Howdy.
Howdy.
What can I do for you? Now, if you come to this Christmas party, you're about a bit late.
How long's it been over?
Oh, I poured the last out of here about 30 minutes ago.
Guess everybody had a good time.
You should have seen it, boy. Them girls was gusted up. They looked beautiful. Boys all had their hair plastered with bear grease, and kids was stomping, old folks rattling their bones. Everybody has a good time on our Christmas party. I'm sorry you got here late. There ain't nothing here for you, but here's a piece of cake here if you want it.
You don't want it?
No, I strapped myself with a bunch of fried chicken, tater salad, ham biscuits. I'm firmly packed. So go ahead and do as I say. Take that piece of cake. Go ahead, wrap it up in something, unless you want to eat it here.
No, but I could use it for this old boy, a friend of mine up at the XXX Ranch. He's got an awful sweet tooth. Thank you.
XXX? Whew, that's a fur piece. That's 20 miles from here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, take it.
Huh?
Go do as I say, take it. Might jolly that old dude up a bit.
There you are, Franklin. Christmas oats, just like I promised you.
Oh, praise the Lord, you're back. Maybe now we can get some sleep once you tell us about it.
Tell you about what?
The party, boy, the dance.
What's this?
Open it.
That ain't the prettiest thing a man ever set eyes on.
An old man, you mean? Young man, like Stubby and me here, we got other things to discuss.
Hold on now. Just hold on. I've got to have some reverent quiet here for a moment. And if one of you's a mind to, you might sing a hymn while I do this. Takes my breath plumb away.
Now, come on now, Stubby. Tell us about it. Tell us about the girls and the ladies. Was they pretty?
Red. They was the prettiest things that you ever seen in your life. I mean, they was what city folks call gorgeous.
Go on.
There was yellow-haired ones. There was brown-haired ones. And there was black-haired ones with skin so clear that you could see right through it.
Oh, go on. Don't stop now. We ain't around the bend yet.
Well, I danced with this one. And I danced with that one. Do-si-do, and away we go, dancing and hugging around the floor, and shoot that star right on through, and through the dippity-doo. And then 2 and 3 and a 4, and circle your partner around the floor, and a wheel and a deal and a dippity-doo, and the next pretty girl, she's a cute one, too.
Yeah.
And Red, but you know what?
What?
They all smell different.
What do you mean they smell different? A woman smells like a woman, don't she?
No, Red. No, each one smells sweeter than the one before. And then, when you hold one in your arms, I mean, you just think you're gonna pure die.
And the lips. Tell me about the lips. Red lips, pink lips.
Oh, just made for kissing, man.
And
Just made for kissing.
the white teeth.
Oh.
And the gowns.
Oh.
And the dresses. And the ribbons.
Every color of the rainbow.
Hey, hold on there now. Hey, you ain't said nothing about that girl you was supposed to meet there. That one you said kissed you last year. Was she there? How well?
She was there, Red.
Oh, come on. Come on, tell us what happened. Huh?
I kissed her. And then she kissed me. And she asked me that maybe I might marry her someday. Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
Man. Oh, she held me. And I held her. I could feel her heart beating through my new monkey ward shirt. Or maybe it was my heart beating against hers, or both our hearts beating against each other, but gosh. The way I felt then was kind of like smell of roses on a summer day.
Yeah, I reckon I'll hit the sack. Since you don't have to work on Christmas Day.
Well done, partner.
A jockey is mysteriously trampled to death on Quincy Monday night at 7, followed by the Yuletide fantasy The Man in the Santa Claus Suit starring Fred Astaire at 8. Stay tuned for Partners in Crime next on TV2.
As you may have guessed, our story has to do with Christmas, which in itself is not exactly unusual this time of the year, except for one thing. It began some weeks ago in Temple Beth Sholem at a Board of Trustees meeting. And I was convinced that it would end in Disaster. This plan can only end in disaster.
Why disaster? Please, let us give Sidney Weinberg a chance to explain his proposal in more detail. Sidney.
Well, I got the idea during our own high holy days in September. Yom Kippur, in fact. Jimmy Terrazzo is a supervisor in a post office where I work. And he said to me, Sidney, your holiday starts at sundown, right? Why don't you take the afternoon off? Go home, get cleaned up, spend some time with your family before the prayers begin. Well, I said I would like that fine, but I had to work until 6. He says, no problem, I'll cover for you. And things were tough that day. We had money orders, registered mail, and parcel post you wouldn't believe. So I know that Jimmy worked overtime. Well, I just thought it was a decent thing for him to do, and I thought I'd like to return the favor.
Fine, fine. Return it. By giving the man a nice bottle of wine or a nice cigarette lighter, but not a plan to trap us all.
Morris, it's not a trap.
Sounds like a trap.
No, Morris, it's not a trap. It's just a gesture of goodwill and thanks to our Christian neighbors.
By taking over every job on Christmas?
Not every job.
It's just the now, wait a minute. As I understand it, we would volunteer to fill the jobs of people who have to work, but who would rather be with their families.
It's been done before. In Milwaukee, Philadelphia, and Portland, Oregon, too.
Maybe we should contact those communities. Make a study in depth.
Leo, we haven't got time for a study. It's only 6 weeks until Christmas.
What does the sisterhood think of this?
Assuming 200 of our members go out on these jobs, when they finish, they come back here to the temple for a meal. I can cater and serve with 25 sisterhood ladies. We'll raffle a door prize to make the expense. All excess profits going to cancer, the heart fund, and community chest.
You know, if the world were coming to an end, Rita Solomon would see it as a chance for fundraising.
Oh, the world's always coming to an end, according to Glickstein, the prophet of doom.
How can doom be avoided unless it's first prophesied?
Oh, Morris,
Would you please think. It's Christmas, so we take these jobs. So you become a policeman, you become a fireman, you become something else. But just think. Just suppose that things go wrong. An emergency here, a crisis there, an important job botched up because of inexperience. Who gets the blame? What happens to our relations with our Christian neighbors then? I'll tell you what happens. Disaster.
Well, again with disaster.
Will everyone sit down? Please, will everyone sit down? We're obviously faced with a difficult decision here. So, I think it only appropriate to turn to our rabbi.
Mr. President, I think Morris Glickstein has a valid point. There is certainly risk involved. However, I don't know anything of value that was ever accomplished without a risk. What does our religion say on the matter? We are taught in the book of Leviticus to love our neighbors as we love ourselves, a radical concept in its time. And maybe it still is. But no one ever said it was safe.
All those in favor of Sidney's proposal? Aye. All those opposed?
Nay.
Proposition carried. We've settled down on something we might as well.
The seeds of our destruction were sown. Yes, the seeds of our destruction were sown when these announcements appeared in the local papers. All Christians who had to work on Christmas could now be relieved by members of Temple Beth Shalom. Some of us went to see Reverend Powers of the Interchurch Council.
Well, gentlemen, the response is not quite what we thought it would be.
Hardly any requests, I hope?
Oh, on the contrary, nearly twice as many as we expected. Can you handle that, David?
We'll find a way.
A lot of our youngsters will be home from college. That'll give us plenty of extra manpower.
And our people will be happy to help any way they can, answering telephones, desk work, chauffeuring.
We figure you'll need all the help you can get, just in case you're in over your heads.
Now there is a man of vision.
No, I see my vision is shared.
In all its deadly pallor.
Mr. Walsh, I'm sure we can cover all of these all right.
Have you thought about putting someone in the power generating plant?
For electrocution?
That's a distinct possibility.
Look, Mr. Walsh, I'm sure we can handle everything.
Well, David, it appears we both have our skeptics.
Glickstein is a special case. He's a successful man who feels his luck might change if he ever stops worrying. It's like a penance. For him, each dawn promises failure. A cloudless sky means drought, and a rosy sunset holds only the hint of a fire in a neighboring town.
You know, I had a parishioner like that once. We cured him by committee.
Rabbi Miller has requested this meeting on an urgent basis, so I'll let him explain.
I have begun to realize, as Morris Glickstein has pointed out, that the dangers of failure are considerable.
See?
Therefore, our choice of leadership must be carefully weighed. I have a list of possible chairmen for the Jobs for Christmas Committee. I would appreciate your advice and counsel.
Oh, of course, Rabbi. Anything you...
Arthur Grossman.
Possibility?
He'll take a year to decide.
Harold Schwartz.
Never makes a meeting on time.
Bess Handelman.
Bess, please, no.
Bob Wexler.
Bob Wexler. He'll submit an expense account that'll wipe out the building fund.
Well, that only leaves one possible choice. Congratulations, Morris.
Morris, you're the man.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I didn't say.
I'll be right back.
Give me the door. Who will I call? I called him if we wasn't home.
Temple Beth Shola means House of Peace. My committee made hundreds of telephone calls trying to match up jobs with volunteers who are at least a little qualified and who are willing to work for nothing. That turned out to be everyone.
I need a night security guard.
Try Cy Perlman. He's a retired cop.
Do we know anyone who can operate a switchboard?
Switchboard? Try Gladys Mandel. She does that for my company.
Gladys Mandel.
Hello, Cy. This is Rita Solomon at Temple. Yeah. How'd you like to be a policeman again? No, you wouldn't lose your pension. It's just for one night. Cy, you'll be the Kojak of the A&P.
Yeah, that's right, Marvin. An usher at the Twin Plaza movie theaters. Hey, you'll see 2 movies and all the popcorn you can eat. Oh, Mar, bring your own flashlight.
Hello, Gladys Mandel. This is Morris Glickstein. I'm the chairman of the Jobs for Christmas Committee. I'm calling you personally about our project. Yes, I wonder if you'd be willing to donate your services for a...
Hello. Mr. Friedman. This is Reverend Powers calling from the Temple Beth Shola. No, sir, it's not a Halloween joke. We have a project here that we thought you might be interested in.
Well, just a moment, I'll see. Do we have any bartenders?
Try Dan Levine. He knows how to do that.
Hello? Yes, Leo. What's up? Would we volunteer for what? Oh. Well, I don't see how that's possible. We're going away the next day and we have... Oh. Well, that's possible. I'll have to check with Marcia first. I'll get back to you later. Goodbye.
Who's that?
Leo Silver from Temple wants to know if we'll volunteer for that Christmas project. They want us to manage a bar and grill, just for one night. Might be kind of fun. We wouldn't get much sleep, but we could make up for it the next day.
You mean I'll sleep on the plane to Bermuda and you'll sack out in Arnie Magruder's car on the way to the Pocono Lodge?
Marcia, how about it, hmm?
Which one do you like best?
Well, I'd have to see them on you.
You have. You just don't remember.
I do remember. You look terrific in both.
Thanks. That'll give me confidence with the beautiful people.
Marcia, hold it. Hold it right there. No. You're angry. That's not how we wanted it to be.
Not angry, Dan. Maybe just a little hurt after our famous talk last week, but I'm over that.
I don't think you are.
You can think what you want.
Oh, Marcia, wait. Look, I know things haven't been great between us. Not in any room of this house. That's why we agreed to this thing. But if it's going to upset you, we can still change our plans. We don't have to go...
No, we're not changing any plans. First aid, you called it. Resuscitation for a marriage gone stale. Separate vacations and separate lives for 2 weeks starting Christmas. We allow ourselves to be people again and to enjoy other people. And no one has to tell what happened later. That's what you wanted, Dan. I'll tell you something. I'm beginning to like the idea very much.
As Christmas got closer, I could feel the disaster approaching, even though we had more volunteers than jobs to be filled. Leo Silva's son, Barry, volunteered to replace the disc jockey on our local radio station, and some of our sisterhood ladies signed up to work in hospitals.
Now, you report to Nurse Bradford in pediatrics at 6 p.m.
It'd be like old times.
Yeah, that's right. You worked there, didn't you?
More than 20 years ago. I hope you told them I'm out of practice. At my stage, I could easily mix up the plasma with the ginger ale.
Adele.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from my cousin Stu. Did everything go all right?
We had a very pleasant evening.
Just pleasant?
Rita, what would you rather hear, wildly romantic or wickedly passionate?
Well, that wouldn't be awful.
I am a 45-year-old woman. Oh, I was fortunate enough to have a wonderful marriage for 21 beautiful years. He left me very well provided for, in comforts as well as memories. So please, I am not looking for changes. Thank you, all the same.
D-Day finally came, and I knew how General Eisenhower must have felt when his troops were approaching the beaches of France.
That must be them. Well, that's a cute little red sports car, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know, Mimi. Anyone that drive a bug like that ain't hardly the type to run an Horgan's bar.
Oh, it's only for one night. Now, don't be such a worrywart.
Yeah, sure.
Come in, come in. Hello.
Hi.
Oh.
Dan and Marcia Levine.
We're the ones who are going to take care of you.
Yes, I know. And it's a wonderful thing you're doing. Not in 7 years have we spent Christmas Eve with our daughter and grandchildren. I'm Mimi Horgan, and this is my husband, Fred.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Is it all right if we park out there?
Well, a car that size, I don't think anyone's going to notice.
Oh. Well, now, I'll give you the key so that you can lock up when you leave. Front door, back door. Oh, this one's a little stiff. You can give it an extra twist.
Yes.
Well, come on. I want to get started.
Well, now, wait a minute. Mimi. We still got things to talk over here. Levine, could I speak with you for a moment, please?
Sure, Fred.
Listen, they tell me that you've had experience tending bar.
Oh, I can mix most drinks.
Yeah? Oh, what kind of experience? Where? A hotel bar, a neighborhood pub?
Not exactly in a bar.
Experience, where?
I mixed all the drinks at the Temple dinner dance last February.
You mean you're not a real bartender?
Oh, I'm an English teacher at Central High.
Good. Mimi, can I talk to you for a minute?
No, now he said he can mix most drinks.
But an
Well,
English
what else does he have to know? And besides, how many people come in here on Christmas Eve anyway?
Yeah, but not English teachers.
Maybe
They don't
half
come in
a dozen at the most is all you can expect. They're mostly people who have no families. They make this place their second home. They'll come in for a drink, maybe something to eat, and then they'll go home early. Something to eat? Oh, it's all prepared. I make a stew every Christmas Eve. It's sort of a tradition here. Mimi's stew. Guaranteed to make Mulligan go out and look for a job. There's a pot warming on the stove.
Well, I guess I might as well show you what happens behind the bar here.
Sure, Fred.
You see, this is the good stuff, and this is the porn stuff, in case you don't ask for brand. Now, make sure you put the bottles back exactly where you found them, because you don't want to reach for the porn stuff and grab the good stuff instead, okay? Oh, and be careful you don't drop any glasses, because you break one over the ice, then you got to throw out all the ice. And don't forget to check the beer pipes on the cooling plate at least once every hour, because if the plate freezes up, then you got to pour in hot water and get rid of all the ice. Have you got that?
Yeah.
Oh, you'd have no
Well, look,
trouble at
here's
all.
the price.
Oh, I almost forgot. Around 11 o'clock, Joe Rondoli comes in here and plays piano. Christmas songs, old favorites, things like that. It wouldn't be Christmas around here without Joe.
Yeah, listen, we already paid him by check.
Now, come on. I want to hit Route 29.
All right, I'm coming, I'm
Well,
coming.
you know how that traffic builds up around Lake Winoka.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, both of you.
You be careful, you hear?
Oh, sure, Fred. Merry Christmas?
Yeah.
Marcia,
Yeah?
what's a cooling plate?
Maybe that's where you put Mimi's stew and it boils.
Thank you for calling, Marcia. Dan and Marcia Levine in place.
Makes an even dozen.
We're off to a good start.
That's what they said aboard the Titanic.
Mr. Glickstein, you should try to think positively.
The Reverend is right. A project like this, so much goodwill on all sides, it has to succeed because people want it to.
I agree completely.
Michael, may I speak to you privately?
Oh, certainly, Dave. Excuse me.
We won't be disturbed in there.
Good. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Disaster doesn't always strike at once. You know, sometimes it lurks before it pounces. Like a salesman who waits outside your door till you've settled down for a nap. Glickstein speaking. What's wrong? He's not there? Yeah, right away.
Betrayal? Yes, I said betrayal. Betrayal.
Betrayal of what?
Barry, you made a commitment.
Your commitment, not mine. Barry, don't get your father upset.
Jenny, will you please? Let me handle this.
Hello?
This is Morris Glickstein. Is Barry there?
I can't
Why
hear
are you trying to
Can you
destroy
speak
it?
a little louder, please? Morris who?
Will you give me that, please? Leo Silver speaking.
Leo, this is Morris. Is your son there?
Barry? I believe he is.
You believe he is? Well, you better believe that he gets his tail over to station KNJ, because they're waiting there with their tapes hanging out.
Oh, is it time?
Is it time? It's 18 minutes to Armageddon.
All right, don't worry, Morris. I'll see that he gets over there myself. Barry?
He just went up to his room.
Barry!
Leo, don't get too excited. Remember Jack Sobel? They found him in his jogging suit.
Barry, Morris Glickstein called. They're waiting for you at the radio station. All right. All right. Let's take a minute. We'll talk this over calmly and logically.
That's what I tried to do, remember? It was the two of you who got hysterical.
Barry, how do you expect us to feel? You're home on vacation 1 week. You drop a bombshell like that.
You could at least have discussed it with us first.
Mom, we had the discussion, and I gave you my answer. I'm not going back to college.
So what is it? You found a girl you want to live with. Hey, that's not such a terrible thing these days. You could still finish school. So you'll rent an apartment off campus, right?
We'd even help you furnish.
Of course. All right, so if not a girl, what? Barry, you got in with some cult that poisoned your mind against the plans we made.
The plans you made.
But you could have had anything. Medicine, dentistry, engineering. You chose pre-law yourself.
From the list you gave me.
So who has your best interests at heart? Some commune where they sit around smoking marijuana?
Is that what you really think of me?
Wait a minute, where are you going?
I don't know. The first bus out of here.
Barry, what about that temple thing? People are waiting for you. A whole town is waiting and counting on you, Barry. You're walking out on them, too.
I'm walking out for air. For a chance to breathe, because that's everyone's right. And you're smothering me.
Barry! Have you got enough money?
Terrific. Let's sing it again, and we'll all put some gifts in the bag. Come on, kids.
Excuse me. Have you seen the charge nurse?
Adele, you don't recognize me? Sid Weinberg from Temple. Oh, ho, ho.
Sidney, you look wonderful.
Oh, it's typecasting. You'll see a lot of friends you know here tonight. Dr. Goldman's in emergency surgery. Lee Applebaum's in the admitting office. Sylvia Klein is running the gift shop. And Gary Berger's on bedpan patrol. Ho, ho, ho.
Well, listen, if you need any help handing out those presents, I'm going to be here all
Are you
night.
Adele Serkin?
Yes.
Oh, I'm Polly Bradford. Thank God you're here. This place has been a living nightmare. Come with me. Now, I'm assigning you to Sharon Hayes. She was in an accident with a sled, has a badly injured spleen, a subcapsular hematoma. Now, it could rupture at any time, in which case she'd need immediate surgery. So check her vital signs every 15 minutes and her temperature every hour. She's NPO, has an IV in her now, 5% glucose and saline, and keep a continuous check on her level of consciousness.
Look, I don't know if they told you, but I haven't worked in quite a few years.
Now,
I'm
let me
not
tell you
sure.
my problems. I have a child down the hall with a fractured femur who just climbed over the rail and fell out of bed, another one with a tracheostomy, and a third with URI in a croup tent. And my only nurse's aide is on the telephone trying to track down her parents so we can get their permission for surgery. You're the best I can give her now, not to mention the only one.
Hello, Sharon. I'm Adele.
Are you gonna take care of me?
Yes, honey. I'm going to take care of you.
Hello.
Where are the Horgans?
They went to visit their daughter up at Lake Winoka. We're covering for them.
Oh, relatives?
No.
Friends?
Not exactly.
Hired help?
No.
Then why are you covering for them?
It's a community project sponsored by our temple.
Oh, Masons.
Temple Beth Sholem. Arbor Road.
Oh. Thought you people didn't care so much for whiskey.
Oh, that was the older generation. We've become well integrated.
Why don't you sit down?
You know, Christmas Eve won't seem the same without the Horgans.
Oh, it'll be like it always was, guaranteed.
Sure, why not give us a chance?
Well, all right, I'll,
Good.
There you are, young lady.
What'll you have?
You mean they didn't tell you?
Tell us what?
Well, about me, I'm Kevin Grady. I come here every Christmas Eve. Always order the same thing.
Oh, I guess maybe they told us and we forgot.
Why don't you just tell us again?
Egg milk punch with extra sugar. That's light on the rum, heavy on the brandy, and everything else the same except half and half instead of milk.
Got that, Dan?
Coming up.
How about some stew to go with it?
Mimi stew?
Nothing but.
Picture me refusing.
Coming up. Dan? Could you come in here a minute, please? Like now?
What happened?
I goofed. I couldn't find a ladle.
Well, there's still enough for half a dozen people. Just don't fill up the bowls. I gotta get back to that drink.
How's it coming?
Right now, it looks like pancake batter.
This is the finest egg milk punch I have ever tasted.
Well, I know you're gonna like the stew. Mimi made it herself right before she left.
Oh,
The place.
I beg your pardon. We were looking for Horgan's Bar.
This is Horgan's Bar. We're just substituting for tonight.
Oh, good. See, I told you it was the right place, Phil.
Yeah, my wife and I met here 15 years ago, Christmas Eve. We thought it'd be fun to celebrate the anniversary. You know.
Here's the both of you.
Oh, thank you very much. We brought some friends with us to help us celebrate. George, Elaine, come on in. It's the right place.
We've been telling you about this place for years.
Merry Christmas.
Happy anniversary. It's a double Santa. Oh, happy anniversary. It's a double. Oh, yes, I'm a regular. This is a famous milk.
Miss, look, we'll all have drinks and great big bowls of Mimi's stew, huh? Oh, this is...
Grady. Grady.
Oh, Phil Moran. Nice to know you.
Good Irish name.
Oh, well, we tried.
The crisis at Horgan's Bar was nothing compared to what happened at the radio station. You know, I was worried that no one would show up, but unfortunately, somebody did.
Are you Silver?
Yes.
Man, you really cut it close. I was ready to go on myself, and the Engineers Union does not like that one little bit.
I'm sorry, we have a little
Put your coat right there. You sit here, wait for my cue. The intro is taped by the regular DJ. That's Chips Domino. He leads right into you, all right?
Wait, where is the script?
The script? You gotta be kidding me, right? Man, this ain't New York or Hollywood. You have here a list of the songs and the recording artists in the order they're gonna be played. You just announce them, dig? Headsets. No. Never mind that. Your mic switch off.
Domino here, rocking you wild on KNJ with the top 40 countdown. Pleasuring you with that funky sound. But tonight I'm off in another space, doing my Christmas scene with my Domino gal and little Chips. So here in my place is a noble starship rider, Barry Silver. Hallelujah, he's gonna rock up a storm.
The first song will be Screeching My Moped Moped. Screeching My Moped for You by the Iron Balloon. It's a very nifty number.
Oh.
A little tight.
There. All over.
Is my heart working okay?
Certainly looks that way.
Then can I go home?
Hey, what's the matter? You don't like us here? Anyway, we've been calling your mother and father all evening and nobody's home. You don't happen to know where they are, do you?
They went to a party.
Oh, where?
I don't know. I was supposed to stay over at Melanie's house. She's my best friend.
Oh. Well, parties have to end sooner or later, and then we'll hear from them. Now, I think it's time for you to go to sleep. Have we had our bath yet?
You mean, have I had my bath?
That's exactly what I mean.
You talk funny.
Well, that's the way we used to say it. I haven't worked in quite some time, you know.
How come?
Well, I got married and decided to be a wife instead of a nurse. So I stayed home to have children, only I didn't. And then my husband changed his job and he started to travel, and I traveled with him.
I'm gonna travel someday. England, China, Chicago. You ever been to those places?
Not China.
I'm gonna be an airline stewardess. That way you can go without paying.
Very practical.
Do you still travel with your husband?
No.
Did he change his job again?
Did you ever play the game of connecting dots? The one who makes the most squares wins. My mother always played this with me when I was sick.
Gee, I'm sorry.
Oh, yes? About what?
You know.
No, I don't know.
Your husband died, didn't he?
Well, how did you know that?
Because when people don't want to say that, they talk about something else.
Let's see if we can bring some of that party in here, huh? Sydney, do you have a present for a little girl down the hall? Something extra nice?
Oh, donated by Schneider's department store. It's a beauty.
Thank you.
You want some cake and ice cream, too? Huh?
Oh, she'd love it, but she can't. She's NPO.
Huh?
Nothing by mouth.
I'll drop by in there a little later.
Okay. Seems that Santa was a little too...
I don't feel good.
Make us go
Oh, the pressure's dropped 80 over 50, pulse rapid, and she's sweating.
I need a doctor in pediatrics, staff.
Eight o'clock Christmas Eve. Last-minute shoppers were rushing home. Santa packed up for his long night's journey, and at Temple Beth Sholem, the battle reports were coming in. Cy Perlman, who was working as a night security guard, led a courageous chase through a supermarket and apprehended an invading squirrel. While Gladys Mandel, who was working a telephone switchboard, accidentally connected Hank's Burger Ranch with the coroner of Freehold, New Jersey. But all these problems were minor compared to...
Rita Solomon speaking.
It's Marcia Levine. We've got a crisis here.
Why should you be different? You need 6 gallons of what?
Mimi's stew. Mimi's.
What can I tell you? A flying saucer fell to Earth and we've been invaded by the giant stew eaters. Relax. I think we can handle that. What is Mimi's stew?
How should I know? I'm not the galloping gourmet.
You got a mouth? You got a tongue? Give a taste and tell.
Okay, just a minute. It's got potatoes.
Potatoes?
And onions.
Onions?
Some other vegetable.
Carrots?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes. What about the meat?
Meat? Oh, yeah, there's meat.
What kind of meat?
Beef, like pot roast.
Chuck steak?
Mm-hmm. And some other flavor, a spice.
Salt and pepper?
No, a spice. Oh, I know that taste. Paprika.
Paprika?
Mm-hmm.
I got news for you. She may call it Mimi's stew, but it's my Aunt Esther's Hungarian goulash. I'll see if she's got some in her freezer.
6 gallons?
Don't worry. I got lots of ladies with freezers. So we mix a little, blend a little. Stand by. Reinforcements on the way.
Hurry.
Why all the trouble? They're hungry. Give them tuna fish sandwiches.
After we promised the Horgans we'd run this place exactly the way they would, that would be dishonest.
You're very quick to get all puffed up, full of integrity, ready to fight.
Well, what about it?
It makes you look damn cute.
The spleen is ruptured, no question. The abdomen filling with blood. Have you found her parents?
Not yet.
We're going to have to operate right away, with or without their permission. I'll call the OR. Give her pre-op medication, 0.3 of scope.
0.3 of scope.
Plus 25 mgs of Demerol.
Yes, doctor.
It's not very dangerous, is it? I mean, they took out plenty of spleens when I was in practice. I imagine it's a lot safer now, huh?
Sharon has sickle cell traits. If she loses oxygen during anesthesia, she could go into crises. I'll get the medication.
The 817 bus to Chicago, stopping at Youngstown, Cleveland, Toledo, South Bend, and Gary, now boarding at gate number 4.
The next selection will be My Soul is Aching, Aiken for the Macon County Jail. Oh, I didn't, there's a rhyme in there, Aiken and Macon. Sung by the Creations.
Man, who is that turkey? They should have had him for Thanksgiving.
The 8:30 bus to Minneapolis and St. Paul, now boarding at gate number 2.
Here we go.
Adele, will you be here when I get back?
You can count on it. Please make her well. Please.
Oh, heavens. Oh, where should we put them?
Right there on the stove.
It smells delicious.
Anything this heavy can't sit too well on the stomach.
Give me your coat. Thanks for helping, Reverend.
Oh, it's no problem. I worked my way through seminary as a busboy.
That's Stu.
Oh, that's right.
Here we are.
Miss, it tastes different somehow.
Yeah, you know, it's more like beef bourguignon.
No, that's Brunswick stew. Just the way you get up in Maine.
No, honey, you're wrong. It's stufato di carne con belli pomodori.
Oh, I don't think so. It's more like
I must admit that Mimi stew took a different turn on the way from the cattle, but it's hot and it's tasty. And we're going to have a great party just as soon as the music gets here.
Morgan's Bar. But why not? But we've got 24 people waiting. Let's see. That was Mrs. Rondoli, the pianist's wife.
I see it coming.
He got a last-minute job in a nightclub up in Toronto.
Does anyone know a pianist? My son takes lessons.
Forget it.
Well, we have a church organist.
Oh, there must be someone who can do it.
And I think I know how to find that person.
Countdown, moving on now with number 17. It's funk, it's new, it's heavy metal too, baby. It's the chart-smashing sound of Rigo Rem and his Red Hot Rockers on Cruise Line. Try it.
What happened? You miss your bus?
No, Dad, I just decided not to get on it.
Why not?
Oh, I thought you might need some help.
Oh, I'm doing fine here. I don't need any favors.
It's not a favor. It's something that you said that's been on my mind. Something about commitment.
Barry, you're not quitting college?
I'm not quitting, but I'm not going back right now. Dad, listen to me. I know that you think that I'm freaking out on drugs or sex or some kind of far-out cult thing, but you're wrong. You don't know me. And I can't blame you for that, because I don't know myself. That's why I have to go away. I gotta see things. I gotta find out how I feel about things. And that's when I'll know who I am. And when I know, I'll be able to make a decision about my life.
Freddie Elijah Greenspan.
Huh?
Freddie Elijah Greenspan. He was a friend of mine years ago, before I met your mother. Wild, impulsive kind of guy. He'd do anything that came into his head. Once he painted the town statue blue. And he left a sign saying, "More heat for public buildings." When I hung around with Freddie, I felt free. You know, once he said, "Hey, let's get on a train, and we'll go someplace. We'll just keep going until the money runs out. Who knows, maybe we'll wind up on a riverboat, in a coal mine, on a ranch in Texas." When he said that, the whole world opened up, Barry. And I realized for the first time that something else was possible besides my father's insurance business.
Did you go?
Got scared at the last minute. Well, seemed safer to stay where I was and know what was going to happen tomorrow. As if anyone ever does. So, stuck with my father's insurance business, married your mother, and I've been happy most of the time.
What happened to Freddie?
I never heard from him again. But you know, if I ever do, I'm gonna thank him. Because he helped me more than anyone else ever did.
Helped you? How?
When things got bad, Barry, when it all seemed hopeless and I felt trapped, I always knew that something else was possible.
We need someone to play the piano at Hawkins Bar. You please make an announcement when this racket stops.
Quickstein, how did you ever get so square? It's not a racket, man. That's soul.
I gave Peter his 11 o'clock medication, and he's sound asleep.
But good.
Have you heard anything?
Not yet. You've done very well tonight. We're grateful.
Polly.
Yes?
I hear you give refresher courses.
Evenings, twice a week.
I'd like to learn about the new medications, the new life support systems.
Well, there'll be lots of Sharons, and some won't make it.
I want to learn.
I'll get you all the information you need.
Thanks. I'll check the croup tent.
Rabbi Miller speaking.
A piano player?
No. Yes, Eddie, thank you for calling. Flat tire fixed, taxi back in operation.
Well, I've got a feeling that we've come through the worst.
May I remind you, Reverend, with all due respect, that the evening isn't over yet?
Morris, since this project began, we have heard only negative thoughts from you. Why now, when everything is going well, why more prophecies of doom?
Just observing our religion, Rabbi.
Observing our religion? How?
Oh, we are told that we are put on earth to carry out God's will.
So?
So I figure that my job is to worry. Because if God's will depends on us, he's got to be worried too.
Excuse me. Is this the committee?
Jobs for Christmas. Yes, sir. May we help you?
Yes, I'm Martin Kaplan, and I heard on the radio, KNJ, that...
You're a pianist?
Well, strictly as a hobby.
Well, that's wonderful. Come with me, sir. Come with me. Mr. Kaplan has just proved that worrying pays.
Here's to you. Here's looking at it.
May I have your attention, please? Our pianist, Mr. Martin Kaplan.
Show him. Mr. Kaplan, we had something else in mind, you know, something more popular.
Oh. Well, I know some mazurkas that are quite lively. I think you'll like this one.
Mr. Kaplan. No, I mean something, you know, really popular.
I could play the entire score of Naughty Marietta, but I'd have to go home for the sheet music.
Oh, I think that'd be a good idea. You better go home. You better go home for the sheet music, Mr. Kaplan.
But I can...
No, that's all. You stay in your house. You stay in your house there, and that's it. You get your coat on. You stay in your house until I call you, because there may be a change in plans.
You know, okay. Thank you.
Thanks for coming down.
I'm sorry.
Shalom.
Oh, thank you.
That's what they say to each other. It's like Merry Christmas. It is. Shalom.
I knew it wouldn't work out.
How?
How? Did you see him? He had Carnegie Hall all over his face. See those fingers, long and thin? Whew. My mother told me if I kept practicing, I'd have long, thin fingers, too. But you see, I haven't.
Glickstein, you took piano lessons?
Yeah, but that was many, many years ago. I haven't... I know what you're thinking.
Sit down.
Oh, no, I can't
Glickstein.
I don't remember. I'm
Glickstein, sit.
No, I'm telling
Play.
you. Please.
Play, just play.
I'm rusty.
Glickstein, play.
All right. I told you I'm rusty.
Try it again. Try it again.
All right, you asked for it.
Oh, what fun it is to ride on one horse. You got it. Hey, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. I don't know. Oh, what feels we go. Merry all the way.
I can't remember the words, but Well, that night we each learned a little something. Leo Silva learned that love and respect are on both sides of a two-way street. Dan and Marcia Levine learned that the greatest turn-on for a tired marriage is doing something worthwhile together. Separate vacations. And Adele Sirkin learned that after widowhood, there is life. That year, we had a wonderful Christmas. But I wasn't surprised. After all, didn't I predict success?